Hi, everyone. We're going to talk about setting the stage today, planning, expectations, and execution. In order to succeed with attraction marketing or any type of marketing, it really should begin with planning. Planning involves just making sure that you have a goal set, that you have specific deadlines, and that you map out your strategy to get it done. It won't really take a whole lot of time if you select one thing that you want to get done, but you really have to commit to getting that one thing done. Expectations is really taking out time to say, this is what I expect to do. I expect to succeed. I expect to learn, or I expect to do whatever it is you expect. And once you write that down, it's like you're crystallizing it in your mind and you're going to put it into action. And then the last phase is execution. Execution involves just implementing everything that you have planned out. You're going to get involved with a little more testing and analysis so that you can make adjustments and then move forward based on the results. So, with that said, let's look at planning. Planning, like I said, is setting a goal and then planning out your strategy, mapping out your strategy, so that you can see the end result and you can fill in every step in between to get it done. This also means identifying resources, mapping out each step in the process, and that the resources means deciding what you need and what you already have as well, because you may have a wealth of resources around you that you haven't tapped into yet, or you may have to go outside of your current circles for resources. Fortunately, with the group that we have here, you probably haven't introduced yourself. In this mastermind group, I've assembled a number of very talented individuals that are very, very resourceful and have a lot of experience under their belt. So feel free to introduce yourself and just kind of say hello, because we're going to, once we get to the part where we are going to introduce ourselves and share a little bit about what we do, we can see where the synergy is and how we can all kind of work together to help each member get to that next level. And then the last piece to this very short but very powerful process is committing to the calendar. And your calendar is your schedule. And I know everyone is extremely busy and everyone has something else that they're doing or that they should be doing. And when they're not doing, they just probably want to take a nap and go to sleep or go and have fun with the family. All of that is great, but not having a calendar in place for this one goal means that you're just going to extend it out, and it's just going to be an idea that you keep talking about, and everyone's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. I'm sure you enjoy when people are impressed with ideas, but you can really implement those ideas by planning and then committing to a calendar. So you'll go from just sharing ideas to saying, look what I've done, or look what I've accomplished. Expectations. You should always expect to win and achieve the goal. You should always expect to win or achieve the goal. When you're speaking with someone about attraction marketing, you'll find that most people don't know what it is. But when you look around, especially on the internet, you'll see people who are posting on Facebook, on LinkedIn. They have blogs, they have stories. All of these people, I would venture to say that they all have one thing in common, and it's that they expect to achieve the goal of communicating with the audience. So in order to do that, they have to post often and they have to share information. And this whole stream of information that you're seeing now online is a very, very calculated way that people, they're communicating in a way that's very calculated, yet it seems very free flowing and informational. All of this is planned, because without without having a plan, you have, random posts and not a really valuable body of information. Also, expect to grow. Since this is a fairly new concept to most people, expect to learn things that you didn't know. Expect to meet people who can help you that you probably would have never thought would work with you. Expect to learn new techniques, and expect that everything that you thought you knew about what you did in the past is no longer relevant. And I say that because when you start out with a brand new concept or idea, it's like having a clean slate. You can bring in your experience and especially the things that are really negative, you can bring all that in, but all it's going to do is bog you down. If you operate from a position that you're going to work with the top people, get the best resources, and you're open to information, you can make better choices than you probably did in the past when things kind of seemed like they were going to really, blow up or, jump off, but they just didn't because, someone didn't do this for you, or someone didn't help you do that, or everyone loved your idea, but, nobody supported it, and why is that? So expect to grow. And then lastly, expect to give back. Largely, attraction marketing involves customer testimonials and feedback, interaction in this dynamic social environment. Expect to communicate in ways that you have never communicated before, whether it is via press releases, via postings, via printed materials. But expect to give back, because someone in this space is going to ask you for a testimonial, or you may want a testimonial just to validate what you've done. A key concept in attraction marketing and online marketing in general is social proof. And when a customer visits your website, unlike 10 years ago when people were mesmerized by websites, now it's just status quo. It's just expected that you have a web presence. But now when people go to your site to validate who you are and what you do, you need some type of testimonial, whether it is a video testimonial or a series of video testimonials, as well as printed or written testimonials. And this is called social proof. So here's an example of expectations. Expectations for getting new clients or new customers, more visibility online, you have the expectation of more interaction, and also to get more testimonials and proof that you're the real deal and that you can do what you say that you're going to do. Now lastly, there's execution. And execution is simply taking action on everything that you've planned to do. In this space, you want to allot time for testing and measuring results, and we'll talk about those concepts further down the line. And when you're testing and measuring results, it's not like you're going to kick a field goal the first time. You're not going to run 100 yards all the way down the field the first time. If you do, it's not something that you can measure. It may be just something that just happened. But you have to allot for testing and measuring so that you can refine what you're doing and find your niche and really service more than 5 or 6 people that you might know. Testing and measurement is absolutely essential with marketing online, whether you're doing banner advertising, Facebook advertising, or even Google or Yahoo pay-per-click. You have to test and measure in order to find out where the audience is. And this concept is something that the large marketing firms, the agencies do all day long. So to make it to whittle it down to something that an individual can do it's really the foundation for why attraction marketing works, is because people take the time to plan, test, and measure results. And then the last piece is making adjustments and implementing everything that you have planned out. And the adjustments part is very important, because once you make those adjustments, you show your client or your potential client that you're flexible and that you're listening to them as opposed to just running with your great idea. There are many, many idea people out there who will create something and then just run with it without testing the market. And then they get discouraged when no one buys it. Well, it's just because there was no time for making those adjustments, testing and measuring, targeting your audience, and then delivering directly to them. So that's execution. So here's a little bit of homework. Since we're getting started, we want to make sure we're on the same page and literally on the same calendar. So what I'd like to do is I want to show you how to set up a Google Calendar. Google has a free calendar that is attached to your email account. And if you don't have a Gmail account, I recommend that you go ahead and get a Gmail account specifically for this program. And as you can see in the left-hand corner of your screen, we have the 45-day attraction marketing calendar. And this is the calendar that I'm on right now. And on the calendar, we'll be able to post your specific tasks as they relate to what you're trying to accomplish. And then I'll be able to support you in your efforts, because then I'll know exactly what you need help in and where you are in your own process. So to create a Google Calendar, log into Google or Gmail, or create your Gmail account. And at the top corner, back on the previous side, there's a top left-hand corner, you'll see documents and calendars. When you click on calendar, you'll see a page exactly like this one. And then on your left side, as you can see on the left-hand side, there's a column where it says other calendars, and then you see the big red button that says create. So create a new calendar, and then once you've created that calendar, send me the email address that you used for Gmail, or send me your Gmail address, and then I will add you to my calendar, and then we can kind of share information on that specific calendar as it relates to this project. I don't want your personal calendar, but we can create a calendar just for your specific project that you're working on. Okay, that's it. And in the next video, we'll talk a little bit about what you can do to get started right away to test and see if your idea is something that your market is looking for.